This is a quick video to show you guys how I achieve a natural everyday look. This look is great for if you're going to a job interview, to if you're going out, just for a quick run, if you're going to go get your nails done or running some errands. This is just a kind of an everyday look, and you can achieve it in about less than 20 minutes. So the first thing is I'm going to start with combing out my eyebrows, combing them up all in the same direction. Now I'm lining my eyebrows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Pomade and an angled slanted brush. What I'm doing is lining just underneath the bottom of my brows. Then I'll line the top of my brows and I'll go in and fill them in. You'll notice that I'm going to do light strokes in an upward motion. Sometimes I do a more defined brow, but right now I'm into a really kind of transparent like brow, if you will. So you're going to see a little bit of that going on. And right now I'm just going in and I'm just fading in the top of my brow. If you notice, when I get to the front of the brow, I'm just making short brush strokes in an upward fashion. And that is to give the inner side of my brow a more natural look and not to have it look as boxy or as sculpted. You kind of want to mimic real eyebrow hair. For you gals with thick brows, you may be able to skip this step. What you see me doing now is just taking the brow after I filled it in, and I'm using the end of my brush, which is the spoolie end, just to kind of comb that brow up and make it uniform, get the product to blend in. Now I'm going to take concealers from the crayon case and P. Louise, and I'm going to use those to kind of shape out and carve out my brow. So what you see me doing is just putting a little coverage. It's going to be underneath the brow, kind of helps give it that shape and that neat and kind of crispness there that you need. And this time I'm going to do it underneath the brows and on top of the brows. I don't always do this, but because this color is going to mimic my foundation shade, I find that it's all right. As your concealer and your primer get onto your lid, don't be worried if it gets down onto the bottom part of the lid. That's okay, because we're just going to blend it out in a moment anyway. What you see me doing now is just shaping out the top part of my brow. And I'm going to put a little bit in the middle. That just kind of helps conceal. It's going to also bring some light to the face there. The next thing that you see me doing is using that concealer, and I'm placing it underneath where my cheekbone is. Above that is where I would contour if I was contouring. So that's what you see me doing. I'm placing a dab of the foundation there on the middle, and that sets me up for the highlight. So that's what you kind of see me doing there. It's just setting myself up for the highlight portions of the face. That's where I want to bring the light to. Now I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm just going to blend this into my skin until it seems seamless, okay? Mind you, I did a tiny bit of blending off of camera, so if you know, need a little additional time than what you see in this video, don't worry, you'll be just fine. You just want to kind of blend it in, and what we're doing is kind of patting it into the skin, patting it into the pores so that we can fill them up, so that when we lay the eyeshadow on top, it's nice and smooth. The next thing that you see me doing is just blending that concealer in on the bottom portion of my face where I want to bring light to. And again, if we were doing a contour and a highlight here, it would definitely stand out. But if you notice on the sides of my cheeks, you can already see where the light hits a little bit darker there. Right now, I'm just continuing to blend. I'm blending out the concealer around the top part of my brows. And what I'm doing is just continuing to blend in. I'm patting this in to my skin. Okay, you want to bring light, depending on your chin. You may want to bring light to it, so that's what I was doing there. All right, the next thing that you see me doing is laying my foundation. Today, I used the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I'm laying it with a flat brush, as you see. Going in underneath the eye, I'll go around the nose and any of the spare places that are on my face so that I can blend out. So that's what you see me doing now, is taking a brush and I'm just blending in the foundation there. Simple, easy, painless, quick, and you just want to kind of pat it in and blend it in on your skin until it's settled in. One thing that you won't see on camera is I do wait a couple of moments in between laying my foundation and blending it out before putting any other product on my face, just giving it a small chance to dry down. That's gonna allow me to be able to go in and place powder in on placing the powder down, which is going to give me like a smooth, seamless type finish to my skin. It also helps dry up any oils that may be on the skin. Now, right now, the next thing I'm going in with is my powder, and it is a MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna apply this powder all over my face, and it is going to give me a kind of matte, smooth finish. So beautiful. Kind of takes the shine out of the skin and gives it a more natural finish. Just applying it to the forehead, to the neck, the nose, any places here on my face that I feel like I needed. The next thing I have is some banana powder. This is a Banana Deep from Revolution Makeup, but it depends on your skin tone and what color you would use. But what I'm doing is I'm putting it underneath my eye. One, it brings some brightness to the eye. Two, it's going to help me with any fallout that may happen with my shadows. In this case, I did not place down concealer underneath the eye. I usually do, but this is a quick look. Honey, I needed a break real quick. All right, we back. And now I have the Morphe 15N palette that I'm gonna use. This has a lot of browns and like deep purples that you can use to make like a neutral or a smoky eye. It's amazing how brown and purples come together. And this is the color palette that's inside. Just so that you guys can see what I'm using, what colors we're working with. Okay, so I'm gonna take this fluffy brush. All right, one thing that I do want to tell you is I did use a P. Louise base, and I took this P. Louise base. It's in a lighter color. It's actually in color 01, and I tapped a little bit of that on the bottom of my lid, and that is why that one is a little lighter than the top part. Now I'm going in with that fluffy brush, and I'm going into one of those browns, and I am just tapping it in to the top portion of my lid. And I'm just tapping it in so we can deposit the color onto the eye. So instead of going in and trying to take a lot of powder on your brush and making it dark off rip, just take it, tap the powder in, and slowly apply it. You just want to build up the color. So whenever you hear us talking about that, that's what we're doing. Now I'm going into the next color, and I'm just gonna put it on the outer corner right there of my eye, sweeping inward, and I'm just laying it down just to give the eye a little bit of depth. The shade that I'm using is not that much darker than the initial shade because I want to give it some depth, but we don't want to go too dark. We're not smoking this thing out yet. This is just a light, quick 3 colors we're gonna use. And you see how I'm blending that into the eye. Now I'm going in with the same color that I used on the outer portion of the lid, and I'm just going in underneath the eye. The reason why you're putting down the powder underneath the eye, and if you don't have a banana or banana deep or another color, you can use translucent powder, but it's gonna help you with the fallout, and it's gonna help you keep this shadow in place. So you're just gonna go underneath the eye with a fluffy brush in a sweeping motion. Someone asked me to show them this, so there you go. We'll do this again, I'm sure, plenty of times. And we're just sweeping gently underneath the lid. Now I am gonna go in with a slightly darker color, and I'm just gonna go out with that fluffy brush just on the edges of the eye. And then you'll see me, I'm gonna take it up from the edges into the outer corner. Now I'm using a black liner, and I'm lining my waterline. I'm also gonna start crying, so I'm gonna take a quick break. And I actually ended up lining underneath the waterline as well. Now I'm just using a black mascara, and I'm just going to place that on the tops of my top lashes as well as the bottom lashes. Getting the bottom lashes is really important. It's gonna help define your look just a little bit more. I believe this mascara is Laura Geller. We also are laying this because we're gonna put some lashes on. All right, the next thing we're gonna go in is with a bronzer. This one is from Milani Cosmetics. And instead of doing a contour, we're actually gonna use the bronzer to kind of help shape the face out. So if you see, I'm just gonna go back into a sweeping motion, applying at the cheekbone and then going back and up. And as you see, I'm sculpting out my face and kind of giving it a glow with this bronzer. So we've taken some foundation, it kind of blanks the canvas out, and now we're adding some color back in there. We were shooting for something a little more natural, so that's why this time I didn't contour. I'm just sweeping a little bronzer across my forehead just to give it a little bit of color there. And then across my chin and along the jawline there to also help to give it a little shape. Usually I would do this with a browner color for the contour, but we're skipping this, right, because we want to go quick and natural. All right, the next thing I'm using is a blush palette from Juvia's Place, and I'm gonna go in with this kind of brownish color, and I'm just gonna sweep that on the apples of my cheek and up and back. Boom. Now we're going to use a felt liner pen and we're going to line the top lid. We're not going to do a winged liner, we're just going to line the top lid. So I'm just taking it from the inner corner out to the outer corner. Some people do it the opposite way, they take it in from the outer corner to the inner corner. But we just want to give a little bit of darkness around the eyes there. We're going to lay some lashes, so that's what this is helping us do. It's actually rare now that I actually do a look without the liner. I actually do prefer a Kat Von D liner. The precision is so awesome on it, but for some strange reason I cannot find it. I think it retails for around 21 bucks at Sephora. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is go in and I'm gonna line my lips with the color Soar from MAC. It is a MAC lip liner, and it is Soar, S-O-A-R, like fly. And I'm just lining my lips. I am gonna go slightly above the lip line, slightly above the lip line, because I have a full lip, so I want to just have a little bit more fullness. So what I do is I just line it over the top a little bit more. Then I go in with a cocoa colored liner and I line over top of that slightly. And I'm gonna go in with one more liner. The wild part about this is people never understand how many colors can actually go into a lip liner. And now I'm gonna go in with the final brown, and this is a darker color brown. And then we're going to apply the lipstick. And the lipstick comes from the Essence Cosmetics line, and this called This Is Nude line from Essence Cosmetics, and the color is 01 Freaky. And then I'm gonna go in over top of it with a NYX Butter Gloss. These are only $5 at Ulta, and I went in with the color Angel Food Cake. And I'm just gonna line, go over top of that lip slightly, just a little bit over top of the lip line. I apply my lashes, and this is the completed look. Now you are ready to just step out, you're ready to go to work. It didn't take too long, and you can have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.